Is Donald Trump cognitively collapsing before our very eyes? A Congresswoman is suggesting that's the case, and her theory includes some fascinating details that connect the dementia dots, and I have it all for you next. I'm Dan, and welcome to another Occupy Democrats Report. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to get all of our daily coverage on the Donald's destruction and decline. Let's begin this report with a recent Inside Edition piece paired with Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt's most recent attempt to cover up Trump's hand cover-up, and then I'll hand it to the Congresswoman for a theory about a bigger cover-up.
President Trump appeared to go to great lengths today to keep his right hand out of sight, either under his desk or covered by his left hand. His efforts to keep his hand under wraps came after he had two large Band-Aids on the back of his right hand at Tuesday's cabinet meeting. It's the same hand that we've seen badly bruised and covered with makeup. Now it seems he's covering it with Band-Aids. No comment from the White House about the Band-Aids, and the president is laughing off concerns about his health.
I'll let you know when there's something wrong. There will be someday. That's going to happen to all of us. But right now, I think I'm sharper than I was 25 years ago, but who the hell knows?
But then he appeared to fall asleep as administration officials were filling him in on their accomplishments.
This war is going on, and the president is trying to end it.
Today, his critics are pouncing.
I remember when he used to call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, and now it's Sleepy Donald.
Tell us again how Sleepy Joe is, will you?
But his allies over on Fox News have an alternate theory.
If you sleep 3 hours or 4 hours a night, you're probably going to close your eyes, whether you're 79 or 49.
Thomas Edison believed in the 10-minute nap, by the way. What would they say? We wouldn't have electricity, right?
Thank you. The president's been spotted out and about a number of times with bandages on his hands. Could you please explain what that is about? Secondly, he noted on Truth Social the other day that he had aced 3 cognitive tests. Could you please clarify when those tests took place?
I can do that at a later date. I obviously don't have that in front of me. The president has spoken about that quite extensively throughout the years. As for the bandages on the hand, we've also given you an explanation for that in the past. The president is literally constantly shaking hands. The Oval Office is like Grand Central Terminal. He is meeting with more people than any of you even know about on a daily basis. He's also on a daily aspirin regimen, which is something his physical examinations has said in the past as well, which can contribute to that bruising that you see.
Leavitt can repeat her well-crafted narrative, but the advanced staging, the bruising, the falling asleep, and Trump's amplified agitation tell a different story. And because Trump world is not known for honesty, people are going to have alternative theories. Enter Representative Cam Dove, who had something to say on the heels of Leavitt's spin. She posted, "Hey, I'm just asking questions," while resharing her previous thoughts that said, the Alzheimer's drug Leqembi is administered through an infusion, for example, through the hand, can cause swelling, bleeding, or fluid leakage in the brain, requiring regular MRIs, can cause tiredness, curious. And the Daily Beast provided this additional context.
A member of Congress has proposed a theory that Donald Trump is taking a $26,500 anti-Alzheimer's medication, intensifying pressure for answers on his health. Sydney Kamlager-Dove, a Democrat who represents South Los Angeles, reposted her theory an hour after the Daily Beast's Farah Thomason cornered White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt about the bandaging on Trump's hand. "I'm not a doctor, but I do think it's curious that Trump's drowsiness and visible bruising on his hands are consistent with known symptoms and side effects of Alzheimer's medications like Leqembi," Kamlager-Dove told the Daily Beast, which has been leading the charge on covering Trump's health. His recent incoherent remarks at a rally in the Poconos and a Truth Social rant about his 3 cognitive tests have only intensified scrutiny of his memory and mental fitness, she added. Trump has long attempted to shut down questions about his mental fitness by bragging about how he aced cognitive function tests, which he's wrongly called IQ tests. However, there is reason to suspect Trump is at risk for Alzheimer's. The Alzheimer's Association notes that those who have a parent or sibling living with Alzheimer's are more likely to develop the disease than those who do not have a first-degree relative with Alzheimer's. Trump's father, Fred Trump, suffered from the disease. Leqembi, manufactured by Japanese pharmaceutical company Eisai, treats mild cognitive impairment, but it is not an Alzheimer's cure. Drugs.com writes that Leqembi can delay the onset of severe cognitive decline by 5 months. The drug's website suggests an 18-month course of Leqembi before assessing whether they should continue treatment. The drug is administered every 2 weeks through an IV. Lekembe's website says patients may experience redness, swelling, heat, pain, itching, rash, bruising, and blood collection under the skin at the injection site. Trump's right hand has consistently shown bruising since February. Lekembe patients receive regular MRIs every few doses to check for ARIA, amyloid-related imaging abnormalities, which can manifest as brain swelling and microhemorrhages. These conditions are asymptomatic and can be fatal if left unchecked. On October 10th, Trump received an MRI at Walter Reed Medical Center, which is typically not needed for a regular physical examination. The White House didn't explain the MRI until December, when they said it was a preventative scan of his heart and abdomen. Doctors have sincerely doubted that explanation. Lekembe patients may also experience fatigue, particularly after an injection. The president has noticeably struggled to stay awake during public appearances and meetings for weeks. The Alzheimer's Association says Alzheimer's patients may experience difficulty sleeping and take daytime naps. Those close to Trump have tried to praise his fitness by boasting about how he rarely sleeps.
Those are just the highlights of the Adam Downer article. For the full story, visit thedailybeast.com. What the Congresswoman just said is speculation, of course, because speculation will flourish with everything related to Trump, and by extension Caroline Leavitt, because they have no relationship with the truth. And speaking of speculation, I was very early with mine with regards to the slide I saw in Joe Biden, much to the chagrin of many of my friends, but he did falter, cleared the way for Trump, and Democrats have been a mess ever since. But ultimately, that might end up looking like a bump in the road compared to the Trump train flying off the track at full speed.